Here are 3 reasons why being aggressive in quarter 3 can highly benefit your business going into Q4 and during Q4. Reason number 1, this isn't for everybody, but for certain brands, Q4, the rise in acquisition costs does not necessarily get outweighed by higher convertibility. Or likewise, the amount of discount you may have to give to maintain similar traffic cost may not be worth it for certain companies. For a lot of businesses, this is not true. For most businesses, being super aggressive during Q4, during that big BFCM period, is the way to do it. But for some businesses, you have to be very cognizant of the fact that if you are not a type of brand, product, etc., that really gets huge amounts of benefits from running certain types of offers or these certain types of events in the marketing calendar. Make sure you understand where is the best place to over allocate your ad dollars throughout the year. Because in certain situations, once again, your most efficient ad dollars being spent may not be during this time. Once again, for most businesses it is, but make sure you go back and check your data to truly understand this before committing to overspend during this period. In our opinion, the second and biggest reason as to why you want to be super aggressive in most cases during Q3 and going into Q4, it all has to do with LTV. So essentially, if you think about it this way, after someone buys from you once, are they more likely to buy from you in the following 90-day period or the period of 91 to 500 days after that? Point being is after someone's bought from you, the faster you can get them to reconvert, the more likely they are to continue remembering and using your brand. You're gonna have much more success in converting people in the immediate months prior to that first purchase than months later or even years later. Therefore, when you're looking at that 30, 60, 90-day LTV, not only is that an important metric to track, but for a lot of stores, if they look at what their 30, 60, 90-day LTV, or more importantly, their 60, 90-day LTV was for September, October, going into November of 2021 as we're filming this video in 2022, they'll notice that regardless of acquisition costs, for some brands acquisition costs can be up or down in September, October, but those periods of the year might drive the most 60, 90-day LT or 30, 60, 90-day LTV value, depending on where you kind of see that spike in sales during Q4. So it's super important to understand that during that specific window of time, regardless of what acquisition costs are, when you go back and start thinking about what profit do I need to achieve for my business on a quarterly basis, annualized basis, you have to take into account the expected increase in LTV that you normally wouldn't experience in other periods of the year necessarily. The third reason why being aggressive in Q3 can help set your brand up for success in Q4 has to do with the email inbox. During the high sale periods where there's a lot of competition for inbox space during Q4, specifically during that lead up to the holiday season, specifically the Black Friday, Cyber Monday deal season, it can be very difficult to establish engaged email subscribers who have recently subscribed. When you acquire emails in advance, you can ensure they're already beginning to engage with your email list, help kind of give them a heads up as to what's to come so they're looking for it, and increase the probability of not showing up in spam and showing up in a better inbox for the respective ESP. By already having engaged with certain contacts over the previous weeks and months, this will help you stand out in the inbox from, say, the brand who just had that person subscribe to the mailing list that day. You've already built up so much trust that the probability of conversion is certainly heightened. Wrapping up the 3 reasons as to why being aggressive in Q3 better sets your brand up for Q4. Firstly, understanding where the most efficient acquisition periods are for you during the year. Once again, most brands have great success from not only a scale, but also a profitability standpoint during Q4. But this is not true for everyone. So making sure that you are a brand where this is actually true is very important to make sure you're getting the most out of your advertising dollars. The second point is all about LTV and which periods of the year drive the fastest increase in LTV. For a lot of brands, it is the few months leading into that high Q4 period, the end of Q3, early Q4, October. When you look at what is my 30, 60, 90-day window of LTV and how much as a percentage that goes up, oftentimes this is going to be more than the rest of the year. Therefore, regardless of what your acquisition costs are, Of course, you want to have that as a consideration, but at the very least, you have to also remember when taking into account how much I should be spending during this time is what I'm expecting to yield from these customers a few months or a few weeks down the line whenever I start pushing the most aggressive offer of the year in most cases, which is that BFCM offer. Lastly, it's all about the email inbox. When possible, if you can nurture leads prior to this big event, it is going to help you stand out in the inbox when a lot of competitors are not mentioning these special offers until the very last minute with less engaged email subscribers.